Welcome back. This is Danny with Stuff I Kinda Care About, and today I'm doing a journal build with just stuff that I've got laying around the house. It's Thanksgiving Day. I don't feel like going out and dealing with all of that madness. So I'm using what is essentially like a lightweight cardstock. It is 12 by 18 inches, so it's a little bit bigger than a 11 by 17. And I'm going to be doing canvas boards for the covers, and the covers aren't actually going to be much bigger than the cardstock itself, which is fine. I'm dealing with 20 full pieces of paper. I'm going to do them in signatures of 5 because I want to have 4 holes, or sorry, 4 signatures. So I'm going to be doing them in signatures like this, and just really trying to keep things as simple as possible. I'm not trying to win any awards with this piece, to be honest with you. I'm making it for a friend of mine, so I want it to look very nice. But I'm not interested in making it, the greatest book that was ever bound. Now, one thing that I want to do is I would like to make sure that this is pretty well put together. And by that I mean I don't want to make any mistakes. So from this point on, the order in which I have these signatures is important. So I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to mark in where I want my straps to go. The binding that I'm doing on this is going to be like this. So this is a piece that I did probably about a month ago. It was super fun, super learning. I actually did this right after the one that I did with my friend Lucas. The video for that's on my page. I got really jealous of him having his, so I decided to make my own. I'm going to be using these canvas boards for the covers. Those are going to sit to the side for a minute because I actually don't need them quite yet. So with my signatures, I'm going to flip them over in front of me and flip the bottom one back. And trust me, there's a madness to my method. I would like the first of the straps to be 1.5 inches in from both edges. And then I'm going to come another 2.5 inches in from that. And that's where my 4 are going to be. Now I want to flip these back over. I'm looking for my ruler. I hate when I get into a project and I forget where I've put things, because I'm organized, but I'm not like the best at being the most organized. I do want to apply some downward pressure while I'm tracing these out, because otherwise, and you want to apply pressure from both sides, because otherwise this can get a little squirrely. And I'm just using the ruler as a square, so I have the end of it pressed firmly onto my work surface, and I'm just using that to stand everything up. So now I have a series of dots marked onto my spine, and that'll help me know exactly where I'm punching holes. And so you just line up with your awl, you punch through. So one of the cool things about using a stiffer stock like this is it tends to hold the hole a little bit more cleanly than if you're using like a normal weight paper. And so that's that, and it's going to be super easy for sewing. And I'm going to make the straps that I'm doing this with. This is kind of a template that I'm going to be using for these straps. I'm going to be using some of this gorgeous leather that I got from Acadia Leather. Alright, so the reason I chose this leather is it's got a beautiful, beautiful finish to it. And I know it's going to edge nicely and it's going to look super awesome when I'm done with it. Alright, now I want them each to be 1/2 inch. And they're not going to be perfect 1/2 inches. But we're going to get them close. Alright, so I now could, and I get to save that piece. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll do something with it. So now I could try to round off these corners, but I really like the kind of squared off look of these. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and just approximate these corners. I'm now going to be taking my edging tool and I'm just going to come in here and knock down this edge just to clean this up, make it, you know, look like maybe a professional made it instead of just little old me. And that actually edges very nicely. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to use this original piece as a bit of a template. Alright, so these aren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they give me a close enough approximation that I can get in here with my punch and make much nicer looking holes. And to anyone that actually does leatherworking that's watching me, I know using these things is super not cool. And I respect that. So, this is what I need. Now, I gotta grab needle and thread and start sewing these up, which is gonna be a complete pain. I forgot about how much of a pain this is. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys how frustrating this is in a second. Okay, so I'm about to sew this up, but I wanted to give you a quick tip. The amount of thread, or I'm using artificial sinew, and I've had people ask me what artificial sinew is. So sinew is actually something that you can make from an animal, and it's from stuff in here, and some of the tendons and everything, and you can basically make a cordage out of it, as at least that's my understanding. This is an artificial version of that, and so it'll act pretty similar to sinew, but it doesn't take a lot of the effort that some sinew can take. So, you're going to want your cordage to basically be a little bit more than twice what the length of the saddle stitch that you're doing is, which is really nice to know before you go and have a giant piece of, before you have a giant piece of, you know, paper that you're working with. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the inside, and I'm going to push through, and I'm going to carry that through and leave a good tail on the inside. And then, what I have to remember is, I picked this one off of here. So, that means that following signatures are going to be this way. So I want to be in the top of these two holes. So I'm going to come out of this, and we're just going to let that dangle there. And we're going to come into this hole here. Oh no, I did that wrong. See? I got to talking and I just messed it up. Sorry. Don't mind me. And this is why it gets so frustrating, is you've got these stupid little things. We're going to go in the top hole on this one. And then we're going to go in here. And you're probably at this point saying, but Danny, what about the cover? Well, unlike a Coptic binding, this cover is attached last, which is super interesting. I have no clue what this type of binding is called, to be honest with you. This is something I just decided to start doing on my own, and I've kind of fallen in love with it because saddle stitching is, again, I did it. Anyway, what I was saying is saddle stitching is quickly becoming my favorite way to bind books because it takes very, very little work. It's just a quick, fast way to do this. And it makes life pretty easy. Spectacularly easy. And there's going to be spare leather stuff all over. So now this is where it gets fun. Because you want to make sure you're not catching your extant threads. And you're going to come back out through the hole you've already created. And then this one, you're going to come here and go through there. Okay, so that's what it's going to end up being. But I also have to pull out all of this slack, which is fun. And that feels pretty decent. So I'm going to take that needle off of there. Give both of these another pull. And then I'm just going to tie them off really, really simply. Not trying to win all the awards here. Alright, alright, this is what's going on. This is what I've gotten from this. So we're going to stretch these out a little bit, make sure that they are in place as much as they can be. Okay, that's good. Now, this is where the fun stuff happens. So I'm going to show you one more time what I'm doing with this cover. And just kind of approximating where I'm going to want everything. And I'm really just laying the strap down. Coming through with a pencil. Marking where I want that hole to be. And just to let you know, you could be doing this with 8 strips of leather. You could be doing this with 2 and make them slightly larger. You could really do 1 giant piece of leather. It's kind of whatever you feel like doing. I'm doing this look because I really like it, and because I've already shown the person that I'm making this for the other journal that I showed you. And she got really excited about it, so I was like, oh, well, if she's already excited about that, then let me just make this one. Okay, now this is something that I want to make sure that I do. There's a specific way that I hammered those other rivets. I did it with the cover down. Like the outside of the cover down, and I want to make sure that I match that way with these rivets because I want to try to have them looking the same on the outside, the front and back of this journal. And that is how you make one of these things. I'm pretty proud of it. That did not take long. I'm at 55 and a half minutes of film time, and I know I wasn't doing stuff that entire time. It does kind of want to be open, but it'll train itself to shut in a little while. And that's just a super simple way to make a super ridiculous looking journal. I love how the pages float in the center of this. How you kind of just have those leather straps in the middle. That to me looks gorgeous. So, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to see if they like it. I hope they do. Also, I would absolutely love some more comments on this stuff if you're interested. I want to know what you guys want to see. Give me ideas. John, you've been really good at ideas. Clint, we're going to be working on that sandwich thing. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know what you're thinking. I'm going to get this kicked out today and look Monday for another blacksmithing video. That'll be part 2, and that should be the first part of Brad's blacksmithing channel as well. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have an amazing day, and we'll catch you later.